Hi, and welcome to the Yarn Habit Geek podcast. My name is Laura. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry as Yarn Habit Geek. There is also a Ravelry group for the podcast if you wish to join. And let's get started with this week's episode. Alright, time for whips of the week. I only have 2 whips right now because it is currently con crunch time for Fan Expo, which starts tomorrow. Well, on Thursday, the 31st. Wow, this month has gone by. Well, let's get started with the whips of the week. First one. I'm actually almost done with the Bane mask, and as you can tell, I have a new head to use for my hat stuff that I knit for displaying, but which I got from HomeSense. Yeah, I got this glass head from HomeSense because I found out about it through the Yarn Hoarder, who I'm going to link in my show notes, which I really do need to update on Ravelry, but once I am done filming and editing this video, I'm actually finishing this up to deliver tomorrow to Fan Expo, so, basically next week, since it'll be delivered, or tomorrow, or sometime this weekend, and I won't have it to show in person, I'll be showing a picture in the finished objects next week, so right now, all I got left is to do the piping and more of the details. I've got most of the details done. I just gotta finish working on the piping, and I'm going to show something in the stash editions that is helping me to get through making all the pipes. And the next one, which I was hoping to finish for FanX, but let's face it, Bane was a little more time-consuming, and I really wanted to finish Bane because it was on the list the longest, but it's the Final Fantasy X-2 Riku Scarf. I basically am halfway through. I'm on the 7th repeat. I will probably work on it more later today and possibly either during some spare time during the con, but let's face it, there is never spare time for me during a convention. So, I will probably bring it with me to the con, because lineups, I need something to work on. Alright, stash editions. It's not yarn related stash, it's actually tool stash this time, and it's helping me work on the piping section for the Bane mask a little faster, and that is the Embellish Knit. Please note, I am not sponsored by the people who create Embellish Knit. It's just an amazing tool that helps make I-cords, and it's really fast. Like, I actually got this yesterday, and oh my god, this is so much better for me to use than the Knitty Knobby. Which, for French knitting, which is what I was doing, but this is actually a time saver for me. And I probably will use this a whole lot more for any I-cords or stuff that requires me to use a 4-peg Knitty Knobby, because this works so much faster. And that is it for stash editions. Let's get on to the next section. Alright, so this next section is actually related to Fan Expo tomorrow and throughout the weekend, and it is the stuff I'm delivering. Some I believe, I know one I've shown, some have actually been shown on the show, well, in past episodes, and I can't remember if I showed any of the other stuff that I've finished, but now I get to show the stuff I am bringing to Fan Expo to deliver to the people that are going to be at Fan Expo. So, let's get started, and I'm just gonna get my show notes because I have it in order. I'm doing it in, and obviously, first one I am showing off is one I showed off during the last episode, and that is Oliver Queen Arrow. Getting to deliver him on Saturday to Stephen and Mel, which is awesome. And the next is actually a duo set that I got commissioned I think last year, and that is an Undertale Duo of Papyrus and Sands. So, yeah, and I believe I've actually never shown these guys on here. But this is kind of pretty neat. And obviously, I did some armor made out of foam. Hopefully next time I will have some heat guns to do better foam work, because most of the foam work I have done was with one of my heating irons, which is weird for me to do, but for the craft foam, it's easy for me to use. And actually, this is the second one of, let's face it, I do not know my Undertale that much, but I have actually this is the second one I've made of him. So, yay, these are finally gonna get delivered, so let's go show. So, yay. They're getting delivered, so yay. And it's a long time delivery. And next up is trying to deliver the Slytherin Pride socks. And since I have the full weekend to do it, I know I can do it. So, and next up, I don't remember if I showed this on a previous episode, but I know I showed it in the whip of the week, and it is the finished Hannibal Mask that I get to deliver to a wonderful Hannibal fan. And I actually do still need to make another one, but at least the first one is finished and ready for delivery. And next up is one of my gorgeous detail ones, and that is Elsa with the beaded bodice, which I hand beaded all in 1 month. It was all varied, and she's got a little, I don't know if you, there we go. And she's got a little snowflake gem for the hair right here, which she has in the movie. So, yeah. And actually, the weird part is I actually, for the hair, for me to style it, I actually looked up at a bunch of YouTube videos to figure out how to do the hair. Because the hair is a little different than most of it. So, and also, I actually, well, this was a bottle paint squeeze, so just to do the train, because I am a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to some of these dolls, especially when it comes to details. If you've seen in a previous video my Belle and Beast, I went nuts doing a whole bunch of details for it. And let's see, last one that's gonna get delivered is Nibbler, or should I say the seductive Nibbler. It couldn't be helped. It ended up in this pose while I was sewing the limbs. But let's face it, it's adorable, and it's got a pocket to store stuff. So this is getting delivered too. And hopefully I'm finishing Bane tonight, so that will get delivered as well. And that is actually it for this week's episode of Yarn Habit Geek Podcast. Next week, I will have an after Fan Expo update. Probably post some pictures from the con that I will take. And, well, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. I will see you all next Wednesday here on the channel. Stay crafty.